Hey y'all, we have to talk about the latest Sussex.com update as well as a little bit more information from People magazine. We have a lot to get into from day 2 of Harry and Meghan's trip down under, so let's get started. Thank you so much for clicking on my video, and if you're returning, welcome back to my channel. I apologize for the delay. School mollywopped me something good today with all these assignments left and right and some pop quizzes from every class. I said, oh, they conspired to beat me down, y'all, but I made it, and I can finally get to the fun stuff, which is talking about Harry and Meghan's trip down under. But before we do, if you haven't already, please don't forget to go ahead and like, subscribe, and share. And for our first update, we're going to go directly to the source, which is Sussex.com. The title of this update is Honoring Service and Strength, the Duke of Sussex in Australia. On his second day in Australia, the Duke of Sussex traveled from Melbourne to Canberra, dedicating time to reflect on the service and sacrifice of veterans and their families, and to celebrate the strength of the Invictus community. In Canberra, the Duke visited the Australian War Memorial, a national site of remembrance honoring those who have served and fallen in conflict. Since its opening in 1941, the memorial has stood as both a tribute and a living record of Australia's military history. Upon arrival, Michael Bell led a traditional Indigenous welcome and brought the Duke for Our Country, a memorial recognizing the military service of Aboriginal and Torres Strait Islander peoples. The Duke laid a wreath and participated in a smoking ceremony in recognition of the sacrifices Indigenous Australians have made and continue to make in military conflicts. Museum Director Matthew Anderson, PSM, led the Duke on a tour of the memorial's museum. The Duke paused at a display dedicated to Australia's support of Ukraine before moving to view the museum's impactful new installations, including a Chinook helicopter and an F-18 fighter jet used in recent Australian Defence Force operations from Afghanistan. I love that Prince Harry consistently keeps the people of Ukraine in his heart, and he always honors them in some way, shape, or form, no matter what. I think that is so beautiful and shows such a commitment to the people of Ukraine. Later that afternoon, the Duke joined veterans, their families, and members of the public for the Last Post ceremony, a daily rite that honors one individual's service through storytelling and reflection. The day's Last Post ceremony remembered Irene Ada Singleton and offered a moment to pause, acknowledge the cost of conflict, and reaffirm a commitment to support those who serve, not only through remembrance, but through continued care and connection. Following the ceremony, the Duke attended a reception hosted by Invictus Australia, bringing together veterans, families, and supporters of the Invictus Games movement. In his remarks, he reflected on the meaning of gathering in a place of service, noting that remembrance must be matched with action. Quote, "What happens after service is just as important as the service itself," he shared, reinforcing the Invictus mission to support recovery, rebuild lives, and foster belonging and purpose. Since its founding in 2014, the Invictus Games has become a global community defined by resilience, hope, and shared humanity. The Duke acknowledged Australia's enduring leadership in that effort, particularly following the Invictus Games Sydney 2018, which set a new standard for collaboration, compassion, and impact, and their support for the team going to Birmingham in 2027. Closing his remarks, the Duke celebrated the spirit that continues to carry Invictus forward, one of courage, camaraderie, and care. He expressed gratitude to all who stand beside veterans and their families, reminding that recovery is a shared journey. The work continues in service, in resilience, and hope. Now switching over to People magazine for more coverage of the trip in Australia. It says during the Duke of Sussex's visit to Australia, he stopped in Melbourne on Wednesday, April 15th, and spoke at a Movember event focused on fatherhood. Movember is a global charity founded in Melbourne in 2003 to focus on men's health and raise awareness surrounding prostate and testicular cancer, mental health, and suicide prevention. There, the prince explained that before he and his wife Meghan Sussex welcomed their 2 children, Prince Archie and Princess Lilibet Diana, he attended therapy, which we did hear more about in Spare. Quote, "Certainly from a therapy standpoint, you want to be the best version of yourself for your kids," he said during the discussion with Movember's Global Director of Men's Health Research, Dr. Zach Seidler. "And I knew that I had stuff from the past that I needed to deal with and therefore prepare myself to basically cleanse myself of the past." Before Prince Archie's birth, Prince Harry's therapist told him to just be aware of how you feel once the baby is born. The Duke noted that he felt a disconnection in the early days, saying, "My wife was the one creating life, and I was just there to witness it." The prince concluded his appearance by reminding fathers that they are not alone as they navigate the realities of parenthood. To all the dads and soon to be dads, yes, it's messy. You'll have a roller coaster of emotions, and don't judge yourself, he said. He continued by citing Movember's revolutionary work, which has found that many men and fathers have similar feelings. With evidence of the statistics, he hopes it will give anyone the confidence to know however you have been feeling, however you are feeling, is replicated in the vast majority of individuals. There's an evolution happening here, and I think the more guys that come forward and talk about it, the higher those numbers will be, because those numbers are remarkable and very telling in a culture where it's not really talked about, he said. He acknowledged that parents today can have these types of conversations with their children, some of which never existed for Prince Harry and his parents, King Charles and the late Princess Diana. As parents' roles evolve, new generations are receiving an upgrade, Prince Harry said, before clarifying that he isn't saying he's an upgrade of his dad or that his kids are an upgrade of him. With the world the way that it is, the kids that we bring up in today's world need to be an upgrade, he said. I completely understand what he meant. For anyone who took umbrage with that or had a problem with that, which I did see some headlines. I really don't care. Those people are going to do what they do. But for anyone who did take an issue with that, again, we can pretty much identify those people as looking for an issue, and they would have had an issue with anything he said. But I do think it's natural for all parents. I have never met a parent who was invested in parent, because not every parents the same, and not every parent wants to be a parent or is actually invested in being a parent. But for the parents who I know are dedicated to it, one thing that they have all had in common was that they want their children to have more, have better, have an abundance of what they had that was great for them, and they want to get better with time. So they want to do better by their children than what was done by them. And that doesn't mean their parents didn't do great. It just means with every generation, there are improvements and evolution, just like Prince Harry said. And for all the parents that I know personally, and there's a lot that are dedicated to being the best parents they can be, they all share that one sentiment: is with every generation, we have to improve on the things that we know about. When you know better, you do better. So you reflect on how you experienced life as a child and what worked for you, what didn't work for you, and you adjust your parenting style to that, and as well as what you learn as an adult. There's so much to it. And for anyone to take umbrage with a parent saying, "I want to do better than my parents did with me, and I want to prepare my children more than I was prepared for life, and I hope my children improve upon that with their children," I mean, that's natural. But again, I'm speaking of rational people here. Rational people understand that with every generation, there should be vast improvements, because when you know better, you do better. And for my last update, I'm actually pulling this directly from whatmeganwore.net, and all of these articles used to supply information for today's video are linked in the description box below under sources. The title of this update on whatmeganwore.net is Meghan's MasterChef Moment, Nexus Summit Appearance, and Fashion Tech Investment. You see why I picked this article. They put a lot of information in. In what can only be described as the most delightful surprise cameo of the week, Meghan made an unexpected appearance on MasterChef Australia. The Duchess appeared via a pre-recorded message, cheering on contestants and bringing that warm, polished California energy we've come to expect. It wasn't over the top, it was just Meghan. Effortlessly engaging, supportive, and clearly right at home, talking food and creativity. Meghan's surprise appearance is expected to air later in the current season, but an exact air date hasn't been officially confirmed yet. The series returns on April 19th in Australia on Network 10 and 10 streaming. Other guest judges on the season of MasterChef Australia include Maggie Beer, Curtis Stone, and Rick Stein. Meghan and Harry stepped out for the Nexus Summit last night, a gathering that brings together next-generation philanthropists, impact investors, and innovators. This is where people with big ideas and the means to back them come together to actually do something about the world's problems. The couple mingled with attendees, including entrepreneur Michael Wipfli. I apologize if I know I'm mispronouncing that, so I apologize. Continuing their ongoing focus on community-driven impact. It's very on brand for the Sussexes. Less about ceremony, more about meaningful conversations and action. People revealed last night that Meghan has officially stepped into the tech meets style space as an investor in One-Off, a platform that uses AI to help users recreate looks and shop more intentionally. One-Off is a new AI-powered shopping platform designed to help users recreate celebrity looks with ease. Ooh, that sounds fun. Think of it as a digital stylist that can take an outfit you love and point you towards similar pieces all in a matter of seconds. All that said, let's have a quick reality check. Some of the items currently being shown for Meghan's outfits on the platform aren't exact matches. They appear to be suggestions meant to help you get the look, rather than confirmed pieces she has actually worn. The site doesn't explicitly call that out yet, but it's an important distinction, especially for those of us who track her wardrobe down. A recent example highlights this perfectly. In one post, Meghan was wearing a sweater by Doan, a skirt from Le Ligne, and her classic pumps by Ralph Lauren. However, One-Off initially identified the look as a matching green sweater and skirt set from Chloe. The post has since been updated after the discrepancy was pointed out, but it's a good reminder of how these platforms are still evolving. Yes, AI is absolutely still evolving, which is why the human touch will always be necessary. In the morning, the Duke and Duchess will participate in the Scar Tree Walk. Afterwards, the couple will visit Batter, a mental health engagement program. And in the afternoon, Prince Harry and Meghan will attend the Inter-Edge Summit, Centerpiece, in Melbourne. They have a very jam-packed schedule. They're getting so much done, but as always, I'm enjoying every second of it. You guys let me know your thoughts in the comment section below. Thank you so much for watching the Sharion Sade YouTube channel. I appreciate you watching my content. If you haven't already, please don't forget to go ahead and like this video by hitting the thumbs up. Please don't forget to subscribe by hitting the subscribe button. And don't forget to comment along the way. If you feel so inclined, please don't forget to share so that more people can find us. Once again, thank you so much for watching. Now let's get back to the video. That's all I have for y'all today. I hope you enjoyed today's video. If you haven't already, please don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. I hope you have an amazing Wednesday, and I am looking forward to continuing to cover this amazing trip. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see y'all next time. Bye!